Good morning. Welcome to 2020, or I should say welcome 2020, right? So thank you so much for joining me this morning, our very first day of the 1 month of the new year 2020. There is going to be such amazing stuff happening this year, right? We have to hold the intention for that all the good things that we want are going to come to pass. And excuse me, I just felt really compelled to do this on the first of the year because it is about new beginnings. Ones are always about being a self-starter and independent and pushing through challenges and new bright ideas and inspirations. And it's all about the new wonderful things that we'd like to create, right? So anytime we have that one energy, it is about that. So we are endeavoring to plan for what we want to create this winter, this season, this year. And everything starts with a thought, an intention. And those intentions come from our desires. And so we're going to delve into all the good juju about how to get there and get what we want today. And I have been planning to do this type of thing for a while now. I'm excited that I'm starting the year with this new endeavor. And it's just going to be, an amazing year. So thank you all for joining me. I see a couple of people have joined, so I'm just going to say hello. And feel free to message me through the chat box. If you're not seeing a chat box and you're looking at this on your phone in a horizontal position, if you turn it vertical, you should see a little arrow come up where you'll see a chat box. So you can go ahead and message me anytime. I might ask you questions, so you can feel free to answer those questions. And if there's any other questions you have, you can also throw that at me. And hopefully I will catch it in time. And if I don't, I will definitely get back to you after the broadcast. So don't think I forgot, because I will still be able to read all of that afterwards. Okay, so I'm just going to jump right in and get started, because I know you all have made that decision to be with me at 11 o'clock on January 1st in the morning before, after we'd all been out up till midnight maybe, and maybe later. So I hope you all had a great night last night, and we're going to continue that good stuff going forward. So, without further ado, going to bring you the 8 essential ingredients to getting what you want. And I am Jakki Gioia. The name Gioia was a nickname that my grandmother gave me when I was a baby, because it means joy in Italian, and I am Italian. So that is why I am going by that name. But I did recently, I did have a married name, so I've just been using this Gioia name as my identity, because that is what I believe in, that I'm here to help bring joy to the world. So as some of you may know, I am a healer, I'm a singer-songwriter, and I've been a spiritual life coach for about 9 years now, and I have been just recently focusing on teaching more self-love, because I feel that that is the root of all of the decisions that we make in life. So for over 20 years, I have been healing other people's pain with massage techniques and Reiki and acupressure and essential oils, movement and dance, because I was a dancer. I have always been told that's the best massage I've ever had. And it's because I combine all of these techniques, and it's not just about a massage, it's also a whole healing experience. And I have spent much of my life digging deep to know myself and be authentic, because that is how I feel we should be showing up in the world. And I have studied all the laws of the universe and religion to understand just how this whole life thing is supposed to work. I always felt that I wanted to be able to explain to my child how life works before bringing one into the world. I have been self-employed my whole life. I have been a go-getter. I am the person who makes things happen. I'm not afraid to take chances or take risks. And sometimes to a fault where I have needed to learn how to relax and just be. But I have always been asked by friends when they have their problems what to do, and I have always found that the basis is that they weren't making their needs important, and everybody else's thoughts about them or what they should do were more important than their own. And this also led to my having my big aha moment, because I went into life coaching as a way to just help get deeper into why people choose what they choose, and to help you relieve your pain by choosing better circumstances, or excuse me, as we go through life, we have always decisions to make, and that does affect our bodies. So when I went into life coaching, I wanted to be able to get to the deeper sources of pain and not just keep working the knots out. So I was doing my life coaching homework and discovered that in the answers that I was given, I ended up saying the words, "I matter." And that was a huge light bulb moment for me, because up until then I hadn't really thought about my plan, my purpose, or my role in my life. I was really in service to others, and I was also in service, in a sense, in my marriage. And so when I had that I matter come out, I thought, oh my gosh, this is huge. So I think that other people need to hear that as well. So if you're listening to this, it means you have the desire for change, and you are ready to commit to that change. Maybe you haven't had success with sticking to your goals. Maybe you've had some disappointments or setbacks and you're wondering how to get back up and start again. Maybe you haven't had the love you've been looking for, or you suffered a breakup and you're really ready for love. But maybe you have no direction and you're not sure what you really want. I have been there. I spent many a nights crying over failed relationships and lack of direction. I married someone that showed me attention and ended up in an abusive situation with an alcoholic. I closed a successful business to save my marriage, but I ended up in divorce anyway. I moved in with my parents, feeling like a failure, and tried to grow a business in a new state while healing from that divorce. I had successful accounts, suddenly stopped doing business for varying reasons, and left me feeling defeated. I lost weight, put it back on, lost it again, put it back on. You know the story. And then I discovered a fertility issue my old doctor never told me about, that I had 7 years prior, just as I was finally wanting to have a child. My ex told me he was going to foreclose on our house, which was going to ruin my credit. And then my dog of 12 years, my buddy, had to be put down due to bone cancer. And then a year later, my ex took his life. But through all of it, some good came out too. I ran a successful wellness spa that grew by 50 to 70% each year. I wrote a book to help you navigate your way through life and did radio interviews to promote it. I developed a natural product line to balance your emotions, nurture the skin, and fight infections using essential oils. My cleaning product, Squeaky Clean, is for sale in upscale grocery stores. I also maintained a clientele over 15 years while moving out of state. I directed and choreographed several dance and musical theater productions. I got a job teaching my new dance workout. I have written and published several original songs with the help of a music producer. And most importantly, I found love again. After crossing paths our whole lives and never meeting until the time was right. And then I met a client and I took a picture on the rooftop of her house, and I started the Journey into Joy movement to help others get high on life without drugs and alcohol, to create their own heaven on earth. And I collaborated with friends on an online course called Awaken the Force Within You. And we ran a retreat, and I've held several workshops. I officiated and sang at my friend's wedding. And then I got a leading role in a professional show after not acting in over 20 years. And then we got married. I was also paid to teach at a 4-day festival 1,300 miles from home, including travel expenses. And most recently, I got to the second round at the America's Got Talent auditions this past November. This was something that I never thought that I would ever do, but I went for it and discovered that there was a second round at the auditions. I was one of a little more than 20 people who made it through to that second round that day out of 2,000. But why am I telling you all of this? Because we don't always know why things turn out the way they do, the way that we hoped or planned until we go through it. We realize that through all the muck of things not going the way it should, that good things can come from it. And because even when we think we're in the driver's seat, our soul's purpose is still working behind the scenes to bring us to fulfillment. And that's why we need to learn how to align with our soul's mission and exercise some faith. That faith is a belief in yourself, a belief in other forces at work, and a belief in something better for you. This is the faith that kept me going through all of those down times. There was a little something in me that kept saying that there was something bigger and better for me. And maybe I didn't get there yet, but there was still that something going behind the scenes that was coming. And when I decided to have a little faith in myself and in an ability that I kept putting off, and I say that about the performing ability, I finally was able to take the stage at that show at Footloose after 20 years. Floored me when I received the results that I made it into that show. Did not expect that at all. And then to be taken to the second round at America's Got Talent and just, not expect that either. That is where you are realizing that there is something to your purpose and something about alignment that we need to learn how to sync up with. And in having the faith in myself that I could, when I was ready, go forward and do these things, then it all just started happening. And whenever you really believe in yourself, that's when all the magic can come forward. So as we go forward with today's lesson, keep in mind, you're here because you're ready to commit to yourself. You are making the decision to show up for you. Ready? Okay, let's get started. Ingredient number 1. It's like making a soup. We need to have different ingredients for our life soup. I have a segment on my YouTube channel called Inspiration Soup, and this is what it's all about. Putting into your life all of those things that you really want, that nurture you, that make you feel good. So our ingredient for today's soup is knowing what you really want. What is it that your heart is saying without judging it? And how do we know what we want? You must be crystal clear about what you want to get it. Like a GPS needs to have an endpoint to direct the route, you need to have some idea of what it is you really want. So, when I was out of my marriage and looking for what was next, I did a little exercise in thinking, what do I really want? What could I not live without? And one of the first things that came was that desire to have, and this is going to sound weird, the desire to have someone hold my hand as I was dying. It's a little bit grim, but basically it's about having that love in your life. That is, there's someone there for you when all the chips are down and you're at the end of the day and you need to feel supported and comforted and loved. And that was at the top of my list, because it was something that I didn't really feel for a long time, even though I was married. And when I decided that this is something I wanted, then I started making a list of all of the qualities that I wanted in a mate. And when I say that I got everything on my list, I am being truthful. There were 83 things on my list. Yes, I can give you a copy of the list if you like after this. You can message me about it. But please start to think about the nitty-gritty, all the little details. You might have them swirling in your mind where you're sort of picturing them, but you don't really think about writing it down. And the universe brings to you what you are focusing on. So yes, you can have it in your mind, but it takes a lot of effort to have to keep thinking about it constantly. So when we say write it down or create a vision board, that is how it helps to generate it, to bring it faster to you. Because with the vision board, you have pictures of what it is that you want right there. And believe me, vision boards work. I didn't know what they were years ago when my friend said, we need to make a vision board. I was like, what the heck is that? But when we did, I found that like a year later, that everything on the vision board came true. It was scary. So I do believe that vision boards are very powerful. And when you use a picture, it does help to bring things to you faster. But words are also just as important, because sometimes you can't put a picture out there that looks like the word kind. Thoughtful is another word that you can maybe use a picture of someone giving a gift, but there's so many words that we don't always have pictures for. So please start to make your list. You can also know what you want by getting a lot of what you don't. And when you do that, it makes you cry out for what you really do want, right? So let's just say you're stuck sitting in traffic. I hate sitting in traffic. So what you really want is to be on the road at a time when it's smooth sailing, or maybe not have a job that takes you on the road to have to sit in traffic. Maybe it's about tweaking the timing so that you go when there's not going to be. Any way it goes, what I'm saying is, when you get what you're not wanting, it makes you cry out for what you do. So on the bottom of this slide, you can see it says in column A, write what you don't want. And then on column B, write what you really do want. And you're going to do this on your piece of paper. You can do this now, you could do it later. I'm going to move kind of quick through the slides, so it's something that you can go back and look at later. This video is going to be available after this. So if you can't remember what all these things were that I did, you can certainly go back and watch it. But this is pretty simple. Get a piece of paper, write column A and column B, and then go to it. And then also, what is it that you absolutely cannot live without? Maybe it's about not being able to live without a pet. So put that on your list. We obviously can't live without food or water. So put those things on your list. Because you never know what's going to happen. You can't live without shelter. But what kind of shelter? What kind of house do you really want? Like, don't be afraid to dream big. This is the time. Put the energy out there for what it is you truly want. And when you see a picture of a room, maybe you want to redecorate your room, put that on your vision board. Or if there's a house that you'd like to not necessarily buy, but maybe just move into, you never know how it's going to come. So put that beautiful house on the vision board. It may be something that someone says, I need a house sitter for a month, and you're available. I mean, you never know how things are going to come to you. So try not to judge whatever comes to your mind. It's not about what you think is attainable right now. It's about what you really, really want down deep. What is it that's going to make your heart sing? And then, again, don't get bogged down with the details of the how, because when there's something that is right for you, you feel it down deep in your soul, it's going to find a way of coming to you, and it's just a matter of being patient and persistent. So for now, just dream big and write down all those desires. Remember, you are pure potential, and anything can happen. So what do you really want to create? Ingredient number 2, clear the clutter. We're clearing the clutter of our minds. What thoughts are coming up as you write that list? So all those things that I said, please don't judge what's coming up. Write those things down on a separate piece of paper. What is your mind chatter saying to those ideas in column B? Are you being focused on what is going wrong or how it didn't happen yet? Is there fear, false evidence appearing real? Because that's what fear really is, false evidence. Are worries, doubts, and fears and negative self-talk coming up to block your ability to get what you want? Those are the only things that can really block you from getting what you want and keeping you from being ready to receive that goodness into your life. There's obviously some things at play according to your soul's purpose and what you're here to learn or what you're here to explore in this life, but we'll get to that in a little bit. But for right now, it's so important that you realize, yes, you do have some control in this equation. We are very powerful creatures. All of the thoughts, worries, emotions, doubts that we think of on a regular basis, the beliefs that we have, do create our reality. And I always laugh when I hear someone say, well, it's just reality. Whose reality? Because there are some things that are happening in the world that we absolutely can't change. We can change what we think about them. We can change how we respond to them in our own small life. But what you can do for your own life to feel empowered in your own life is to really pay attention to those little thoughts. Now, Write them down on that piece of paper just so you can get them out of your head. And this is going to happen over a course of time. It's not going to be like just today you're going to be aware of all of the negative thoughts that you're having. This is something you keep on the side, and every time you have one, you go, oh, right, that really was a thought that isn't serving me. Like anytime you use the word can't, that's a tough one. We want to remove the word can't from our vocabulary. Can't is the most disempowering word that we will ever use. So, put that on your list if you find yourself using it. It's really more important that you hear yourself say, I would like to, I would enjoy this, as opposed to, it's not possible, or I can't have it. So, I mean, even when it comes to food, we would be better served without sugar. So instead of saying, oh, I can't have sugar, it makes me gain weight. It's not about the can't. It's about, I choose to not have sugar because it's good for me to not gain weight. Do you see the difference in how it sounds? So it's a more empowering way to say, I choose. Your thoughts are as important as water. Your body is 75% water, and we need it to survive. It's also a superconductor for energy. Thoughts and emotions are energy, and they vibrate at differing frequencies. The more positive a thought, the higher the frequency. The more positive energy you maintain, the more attractive you become for positive experiences. Just imagine that with every negative thought you have, you pour water out of this glass. If you keep pouring water out of this glass, or glass being your body, you will have no more energy to sustain life. Just think about that. Every time you have a negative thought, you're pouring a little bit of your own energy out. It's like leaking out of you. Keep refilling your cup with positive thoughts and experiences, and you will have more energy to give willingly to your goals. That is what we really want, right? To have the most energy to be able to create. So, ingredient number 3 is to reprogram your mind. What do you really want to believe? So, once you know what your limiting thoughts are, you get to decide, is this what I really want to believe? Because everything in our minds comes from a past experience. We can choose what new thoughts will help us to create a new outcome. Like I said before, I choose this new way because it's good for me. It takes time and practice and someone to listen to you to help correct these fatal flaws. Everything you believe comes out in dialogue. So listen to your words carefully and choose the words that are most positive. Like this. Limiting belief is, it never worked for me before. The new belief would be, I'm in the process of getting what I really want. So you're keeping it in the present tense. So really begin to listen to yourself, and then when you're ready to put something positive out, say the words that are really going to energize you. And say them out loud, talk about it with friends. One thing you can do is when you're having a negative thought come up, that you start to realize it's happening and then immediately put a new phrase in its place. And you can, you could look like you've got a multiple personality disorder sometimes if you go through this. So be careful where you are when you're doing it. So one time I had an experience where I was having all of these disabling thoughts, like, no, you can't do that. It's not possible. It's not going to work. And the other side of me, so that was the ego mind, the one that's been programmed for years of what hasn't worked. And then the spirit self of me was combating everything that ego mind was saying. It was like two people talking to, or it was, yeah, like two people talking to each other, except it was just me. So the negative ego mind was saying, no, you can't. And the spirit was saying, that's not true. That's not what I want to believe. Yes, it is possible, and you need to be quiet because I am stronger than you. I'm more powerful. I know I sound like a Looney Tune, but it really does work. And when you can get that spirit self to be stronger than your ego mind, then the voices in your head are going to be more empowering on a regular basis. You're going to hear yourself say more positive things about you and about your life more frequently, and guess what happens? Because of the law of attraction, you're going to start attracting more positive experiences to you. There's a rule. It's the 17-second rule. When you stay on a thought, when you focus on something for 17 seconds, and that more thoughts will start to be attracted to those positive thoughts or negative thoughts, if you will, after the 17 seconds. So, and it's like the longer you stay with focusing on something, the more it'll attract it. So we have to be so careful with what we're thinking and even what we're doing. If you are in, let's say, you wake up in a bad mood, you ever notice how everything goes wrong? Nothing seems to be going right. And it's like if we remove ourselves from that whole experience of being upset, angry, frustrated, or whatever, and just chill for a few minutes, not thinking about anything, like distracting ourselves with a little bit of music or something like TV, it's amazing how the energy shifts. So I'd like you to just really pay attention now, going forward, to those thoughts that you're thinking and deciding what it is you really want to believe going forward. Ingredient number 4, detach and let go. You must have 0 expectations for what's to come. You must know that without a doubt, you will be totally fine if what you want doesn't come to you at your desired time. This might sound counterintuitive because we're working on manifesting what you want. But this is the secret. The law of detachment is the most powerful law. In Deepak Chopra's book, The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success, the second law is the law of detachment. You need to be able to have an intention and let it go. You don't want to be wishy-washy with your desires. You don't want to settle. You make it known that this is what you want, but then you let it go. Because you never know when something better could come along that God or the universe decides to bring you. So let go and allow. Once you make an intention and leave it to divine timing, it will come to you. We can't always say when things are right for us. There is a thing called divine timing, which takes into account everything that's happening in your world. So, for example, if someone in your family is going to be sick and you don't know that that's going to happen, and what you really want to do is move to another state, but something is keeping you in that state, there's a reason. And then when that illness happens, then you'll be there, and it would be something you'd want to be there for anyway. So we can't always know why things aren't happening when we want them to, but this is where that faith comes in. It's in letting go and allowing and knowing that whatever happens is in the perfect order, When I first moved home, back to my parents' house after my divorce, I really didn't expect that was where I was supposed to be. I had gone to my friends' houses in Maryland, where I was living before, thinking that I would just move to their homes and maintain my clientele. And when I would stand in their room that they had for rent, I got this feeling of a clear no. And I didn't know why, but that is a bit of intuition that we're going to be talking about in a little while. But when I got that feeling and I didn't understand why, I got the message that I needed to go back to my parents. So I listened, I followed the intuition. About 4 months later, I ended up meeting the man that I have married now and who I was crossing paths with our whole lives without ever meeting. But it was the right time to meet, and it was destiny for us to meet at that particular moment. It also was divine timing for me to be at my family's house in New Jersey so that I could be there for them at a major transition in their lives. So we can't always dictate how things are supposed to go. We just need to have a little bit of blind faith that things are working out behind the scenes in the right timing. You could also look at it like this. When James Cameron had the idea for Avatar like 30 years ago, he couldn't bring it to life until the technology was available. So all of those years had to go by for his vision to come to life. Would he have liked it to have been sooner? Absolutely, I'm sure. But, in the grand scheme of things, we don't really know when things are supposed to happen. So just hold on and have some faith. You continue doing your work, you monitor your thoughts, and then you be open to receiving. And if it doesn't look or feel like you thought, but it feels right, you have in your mind a picture of something, and this is the man that I think I'm supposed to be with, but the feeling is there that, wow, this is fun and it feels good and I'm actually happy, then go for it. And when something comes in that feels that good, say thank you. Gratitude energizes more of that good stuff into your life. Ingredient number 5, do what feels good. What brings you joy? What is uplifting? What feels so good that makes life worth living? Life is supposed to be fun, and play is vital to survival. You can see me here on the aerial silks at an aerial yoga class. I was invited by my friend who was teaching the class to go, and I was available, and I said, absolutely yes. You never know what kind of fun you're going to have until you take advantage of the opportunities when they come. So many times we maybe have other things that kind of get in the way. You maybe could reschedule for something that you might like. It might be something so fun like this, you wish that you had the opportunity, but you'll never know unless you do it. So when they come up, take the chance and do it. Because joy raises your frequency, so you can create more positive experiences and be a magnet for more inspiration. Knowing what lifts you up can help you feel supported when challenges present themselves. You must be able to make yourself happy. No one is here to do that for you. And feeling relaxed generates a positive frequency. So doing things like yoga and meditation, going for a walk in nature, getting a massage, taking a bath, snuggling with your honey, that will help you to energize more of that good stuff coming in. So your homework is Write a list of all the things that bring you joy and refer to it when you're feeling stuck. So post it somewhere so when a challenge presents itself, you can go, oh, you know what I need to do? Let me go do that. And then you'll be right as rain. Ingredient number 6, opening your intuition. Listening to your intuition leads you to success. Your intuition speaks to you through your gut feelings or a very brief thought that crosses your mind. It is also a knowing that you can't explain and always leads you to the right place. It doesn't always make sense. In fact, it rarely makes sense. Just like when I was standing in my friends' houses feeling that absolute no, that it wasn't right for me to rent there. It's your higher self and your spirit self that's guiding you. It may even be your angels or guides or your higher power, if you believe in that. So taking time to connect in meditation or prayer and asking for guidance will lead you on the right path. Things don't come to you unless you ask for it. It's so important to realize that it's okay to ask for help, especially if you're connected to your own guidance system of your higher power, your spirit guides, your angels, your ancestors, whatever it is you believe in, fairies, tree spirits. There's something for everyone. Obviously, God. So get your ego out of the way and allow spirit to work through you with that little bit of faith. And you look for the signs around you to give you clues, because that is how the spirit world communicates with us. They might have an animal run across your path, like suddenly there's a fox and you're not used to seeing foxes. You can look that up on the internet, or you can get a book. I have a book called Animal Speak. It gives you a lot of A to Z, different types of animals and birds and insects that when they cross your path, what they mean. I've had unusual places where I've seen the spider, and spider means learning how to walk the fine line between the past, present, and future. And what is it that's at the center of your web? You're spinning your web around this one central theme. So when you look at it from a more metaphoric standpoint, you're able to see the mystical meanings behind it and maybe apply that to your life. So what were all the things that I was weaving around to get to that central core? What is that central core? And after all this time, I can say that central core truly is love. It's about learning what love is about so that you can apply it to yourself and so you can apply it to your life and to others. And when you get that mastered, you're living from your heart and everything begins to flow. I had written the book, Follow the Signs, when I got on my path, on my spiritual journey. I had just closed my business and I had this idea for a journal book, and I had been journaling my own thoughts all through the years. So when I had a little bit of time, I decided to sit down and look through those notes, and it suddenly started to become an actual concept. And so I started putting them together in an organized fashion, and as I was writing it, boom, the title just came to me. Like a bolt of lightning, Follow the Signs. It was amazing. I'm like, oh, this is something so important that other people need to hear. And then I suddenly channeled the 5th chapter, and I had a chapter title that I would have never put. And it's like creating the divine. What? I would never have thought that with my trained brain from religion. And so it was so interesting to me to have this come forward. And in doing that book, I have noticed so many signs along my path. I have so many stories about how things just worked out after following through on something that I had, received, a gift, or I went to a women's group meeting and magically people just started connecting with me to help me get to the next step. And I had been told about that women's group about a year or two before I finally made it there. Like I said before, follow up on those opportunities when they come. Like listen and take it up. That was a perfect example. And then through that women's group, so many other developments came to guide me and to lead me along and give me some more steps to creating a successful journey and to develop relationships that I hadn't ever really focused on developing before. So all of these things are very exciting. So you can see signs in nature. You could look down and see a 4-leaf clover. That's a good luck sign. You might turn on the TV and they're talking about something that is right in line with what you've been thinking about, curious about, looking up on the internet, and it tells you, exactly what you need to hear. You might even meet some random person in your travels, like maybe at the grocery store, and you start talking about something that it just makes you feel supported and comforted, and maybe they give you the name of an author that's going to be just the information you need to hear. So you just never know where these signs are going to appear. So just be open to receiving and listening and follow whatever those leads are that come to you. Ingredient number 7, feel what it's like to have it. Feel what it's like to have what you want in your body before you have it. That is a key ingredient. See it clearly in your mind. Visualize it with as much detail as you can. Feel it in your body. What does it feel like to have that thing that you truly want? Does it feel relaxed? Do you feel joyful? Do you feel more energized? What is it that you're really feeling? And then you're projecting it out from your heart when you're feeling this excitement and joy and passion. It is leading with your heart when you do this. And then you believe it's coming. And you're coupling that feeling with the belief, and this is the magic. This is when that magic happens. And don't forget, there's still that detachment in here where we let go of the outcome and anything that happens is fine, but we are at this point really focusing on the feeling of having it and how good it feels. It's just so wonderful to know that what I have been really craving all this time is here. And if you can't come up with the feeling around it just by visualizing it, think about a time in your life when you did get something that you really wanted and recall that feeling. What did it feel like to have your first car that you worked so hard to get? What did it feel like to be in love for the first time? What did it feel like to get that raise? What did it feel like to receive that award? You can recall feelings from the past to use that for fuel to get you closer to what you really want. Be excited at the thought and keep that doubt away. Keep focusing on those feelings for at least those 17 seconds. At least the 17 seconds. And then just keep that feeling going as long as you can. Last ingredient, number 8, is take action. All thought and no action will get you nowhere. Intention with no action is foolhardy. If you really want something, you need to take the inspired action to get there. You can't lose weight just by thinking about it. You have to physically make the choices to decide what foods you're going to put in your body, what exercise you're going to do, right? You can't meditate it all away. Meditation is a part of it. The feeling into it is a part of it. Tuning into your higher self and getting guidance for what is it that's actually going to be helpful for your body and not harmful for your metabolism so that you can lose weight. Those are all pieces of the puzzle. But you have to physically do the work. This is a three-dimensional physical world, and that is how we make things happen here. Right? We could think about drinking that water. We might even feel like a little satiated just by thinking about the water, because your mind is a really powerful tool, but you're not really giving your body the water that it needs unless you drink it. So, are you getting the point? Okay, be persistent and patient for the outcome. When you are in alignment with your divine purpose, you are in the flow. You have to connect with your deepest self and your highest self so that you can really be in alignment with what it is that you're here to do and what's good for you. When you feel excited and passionate, your inspiration will flow more. So go for it. Focus, focus, focus. Be attentive to the small voices in your head and write your thoughts. Don't judge them. Be patient with yourself in the process, one day at a time. Slow and steady wins the race. Remember, you're a rock star. And even rock stars have to practice to get good at their craft. And if you want some help on your journey, let me help you get there. In a week, I am starting to teach my I Matter Empowerment program that I have been planning for some time now. And I'm deciding to do it in a week because on January 10th, there is a major lunar eclipse. And this lunar eclipse hasn't happened for many years. You can look it up on YouTube. There's lots of astrologers and numerologists talking about it right now. It is a very powerful time to manifest what you've been wanting. It is a time for going deep and finding that strength within you to create the structures that you need to create to be successful. And those structures would include disabling those disabling thoughts and enabling the positive ones. It is about creating that sense of support within yourself that you can feel comforted and know that you are not needing anything else, even though we really do need each other to get through this life. You must be so secure in yourself that the world could shake around you and you will be rock solid. That would be in your emotions and in your thoughts. So that whole piece is a self-parenting piece. It's all about self-love, and that is the core of this program. It's also teaching you confidence. So this is why it's so important to start this program right now at the beginning of the year so that you can really have a bang out 2020. And with that 2020 vision and these tools and techniques in place, you're going to get exactly what you want. And I'm doing this now because everyone needs to feel supported and to be confident and to have guidance and to know how to get what you want. And because I want everyone to feel more loved and more supported, more in charge of your outcomes, more positive and optimistic, more excited and passionate about life, more clear about what you want, more motivated, less frustrated, less pain in your body, released from the traumas of the past, like you can trust again, like you have more possibilities, happier and lighter and ready to move forward and more empowered. Is anyone ready for that? If you are, type a yes in the chat box. Okay. Yes, I am. And because it's time for you to feel good. Who wants to feel good? Want to type a yes in the chat box for that too? Yes. In this program, you will get in-depth help with getting what you want, feeling supported, making good decisions, breaking repeating patterns, overcoming obstacles, releasing past hurts and protecting yourself, and standing in your power. Yahoo! Like the little girl in my empowerment picture with her cape on. You're going to put your cape on and you're going to go out there and you're going to conquer. And you're going to fly. That's what it is to stand in your power, to know your power. 7 years went into crafting this program to make it all-inclusive for rapid change. It is based on scientific principles combined with my own trial and error and an understanding of the laws of the universe. It runs for 8 weeks, but your lessons will be learned over a lifetime. And it will impact your life forever. It also comes from experience with me helping others. Some of the things my clients have said is, Jakki is amazing. She is so intuitive and incredibly helpful in ways that only a true friend can be. She has helped me to manifest the best job situation. I can't wait to see what comes next. Was barely treading water before, and now I feel like I'm thriving. Or from Kelly, what a beautiful and transformative session I had with Jakki today. Her peaceful energy and ability to be a good listener provided a strong and loving container that provided so much healing for me to release the reactive emotions that were blocking me from my higher self. Now I'm feeling more like myself again and able to step back and see things from a more spacious and lighter place. I highly recommend working with Jakki. She helps me to remember what releasing and healing, that it's a choice that we must make. What you get with the program: 8 lessons for real change. They're live weekly online sessions in the comfort of your home. I would love to have this class live in person. And so if any of you are interested in getting together to do this live in person, as well as during the live stream, please also message me in the chat box with a yes, I'm ready. And that way we can get started. The 8 lessons weekly will be about an hour. They will be recorded, so you can refer to it later. And they are: the first lesson, what do you really want and how can you get it? And the second, why aren't you getting what you want? So like we did a little bit of that here today, we're really going in depth and exploring these topics. Number 3, the importance of self-love and ways to show your self-love, because that is how you are going to feel supported. Number 4, the joy factor, the importance of feeling good. Number 5, clearing and protection, releasing the past, a forgiveness process, and metaphysical ways to clear and protect. Number 6, raising your intuition, discovering your power and resources. Number 7, communication skills, learning how to stand in your power and how to speak to get what you want. Number 8, secrets of manifestation, drawing what you want to you. Woo! My full spectrum program is very much in depth, and I designed it so it would be personalized and create the fastest growth for you. It includes the 8 weekly classes, 8 one-on-one sessions for an hour in length, either in person or via Skype or over the phone. So that's your personalized coaching work. And then we also have text check-ins available. So 3 times a week, if things aren't going the way you want, just reach out, send me a text, and we will get it worked out within a few minutes. And you get those 3 times a week for 8 weeks. I'm also including a $175 package of pampering products with essential oil body care, a body scrub, body butter, essential oils, body wash, lotion, a skin healing formula. It's an incredible kit that you can use on a daily basis for everything you need. And it will be all for emotional balancing, protection, and support. You'll also get my special I Matter t-shirt when you complete the program. It's a crystal studded shirt. It looks similar to the one in the picture. It's a round neck with a cap sleeve. You'll be getting daily inspirational Facebook messages in a private group. My book, Follow the Signs, hard copy is included in this. It's a journal too, so throughout this process you can use it as a tool for journaling. You'll get some affirmations as well as the ones that are on my YouTube channel. You get new ones. I'll be doing videos including my dance routines and qigong and self-massage to keep your energy moving and keep that relaxed state going, because when you are relaxed, what happens? The energy flows. You'll get my guide to soaring when you're feeling defeated. There's over 15 items on this list. That's very helpful to getting you over those humps. I have a 10-step guide to creating more peace in your life that you'll be getting. And I also have a visualization for overcoming obstacles. That's really easy. And you'll also get an MP3 of my song, Keep Moving On. So this is a very comprehensive program, and it is really for someone who's ready to commit and is needing that one-on-one support. And the value of this program is over $1,500, but it is available for $888 for one payment or 11 payments of $88. And I chose this number because it is a spiritual mastery number for abundance and empowerment and moving forward. Anytime you're using the 8s, it's all about empowerment. But you don't have to do this whole program. You could just take the first class for free and see if you like it. There is a link below this video that you can click to sign up. You can use that link to sign up for the whole program or just take the one class. Or you could do this in a solo package with the 8 weekly classes, my Facebook group, the guide to soaring when you're feeling defeated, the recorded affirmations and videos, one 30-minute consultation, the 10-step guide to creating more peace, and the visualization for overcoming obstacles. And that does not include the one-on-one sessions or the text check-ins, oils, book, or t-shirt. But you can do all of that for $88, which comes to about $11 a week if you'd like to pay that in monthly and installments for all of that. And if you decide to enroll today, you can get my audiobook of 28 Days to More Love for free. You can get that for the solo package or for the full spectrum package if you enroll today. So I'm hoping that you will join me for some or all of this program. It's really powerful. There's a lot to learn. There's no way that I could do this in just 1 hour. But I hope that you got a lot of value out of this class today. This 8-ingredient plan for getting what you want is very powerful in and of itself. And I know that you will be able to use that information to manifest more easily this year. But if you'd like to get on board, and join us in a group, whether in person or on the live stream, please go ahead and click that link below today to get your free audiobook or to just try the very first class for free. And I am going to be starting the class on January 10th in time for the lunar eclipse. More details will be sent to you after this, and I just want to thank you so much for being here. If you would like to, I forgot to mention this, if you would like to add on any of these additional things at any time, you can get any of the weekly lessons by paying $20 a week, or all of them at once for $200. You could get the one-on-one coaching or healing sessions, the text check-ins, the body care kit, the t-shirt. Unless you go through the program, I'm not really going to sell the shirt by itself. But all the other stuff you can take advantage of individually as well. So thank you so much for being here today and taking this journey with me at the onset of the year to making this year your best yet. I'm so excited that you were here and that I got to spend time with you. And please keep in touch with me after this, and maybe on Facebook or through email. I have my email listed in the description at the bottom of the video, so that we could still be in each other's lives and I could help support you through your process and see where this class took you, and just help support you and be excited for all the good stuff that's coming into your life. So if there's any other questions or comments, feel free to message me still in the chat box. And once again, thank you so much for being here. Have a wonderful New Year's Day. Set an intention for a terrific day. And just know that I'm sending you much love. And as I always say at the end of everything, please be nice to yourself. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.